A single candle can light 1,000 others, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Buddha. They doubted you. They said, "You're just one person, too small, too weak, too insignificant to make a difference." But what they didn't see is that within you lives an unstoppable force, a power greater than numbers, a spirit that cannot be measured. In the light of Buddhism, one awakened soul is never just one. It is a legion, a movement, a living flame that ignites countless others. Today, let's uncover 7 powerful Buddhist lessons that reveal how you can rise beyond limits, turn doubt into strength, and stand as an entire legion, even when they said you were only one. Lesson 1. The power of one awakened mind. In Buddhism, the mind is the root of everything. When one person awakens, even a single being, the ripple is vast. The Buddha himself was just one man, yet his awakening continues to inspire millions across centuries. An awakened mind is not ordinary. It carries clarity, peace, and strength that no outer force can break. It becomes like a lamp in the dark, one flame that can light thousands of others without ever losing its own brightness. So when they tell you, you are just one, remember this. One mind free of fear, doubt, and ignorance is more powerful than armies of those still trapped in darkness. One awakened heart can shift the destiny of the world. Lesson 2. Inner strength is greater than outer numbers. In life, people often measure strength by numbers. How many followers you have, how many allies stand behind you, or how many resources you control. But Buddhism teaches that true power does not come from numbers. It comes from within. Think of the Buddha. He stood alone under the Bodhi tree, with no army, no wealth, and no kingdom. Yet the strength he discovered within himself outshone kings, warriors, and empires. His victory was not against others, but against the illusions of fear, greed, and ignorance. Inner strength is the kind of power that cannot be taken away. It is not borrowed from status, possessions, or people. It is born from discipline, mindfulness, and unshakable faith in truth. When you stand in this strength, you may appear as one person on the outside, but you carry a force that no multitude can defeat. Even if you walk into a storm alone, your inner strength makes you heavier than the storm itself. Others may count numbers, but the universe counts the depth of your spirit. And in that depth, one awakened being outweighs 1,000 who have yet to awaken. Lesson 3. Compassion expands you into many. In Buddhism, compassion, karuna, is seen as a boundless force. It is not weakness, but the very power that multiplies your presence beyond yourself. When you move with compassion, you are no longer just one person. You become a bridge, a healer, and a guide for countless others. Think about how a single drop of water falling into a still pond creates ripples that travel far beyond where it landed. Compassion works the same way. One act of kindness, one word of comfort, one moment of understanding can ripple outward into the lives of people you may never even meet. The Buddha's compassion was so deep that even today, thousands of years later, his teachings still ease suffering across the world. That is the power of compassion. It expands your reach far beyond your physical body. When you live with compassion, your energy touches families, communities, and generations. Your kindness multiplies through others, who in turn spread it further. In this way, you rise not as a single person, but as a living legion of love. So remember this: when you choose compassion over anger, you awaken an invisible army of peace. You may look like just one person, but the world begins to move with you. Lesson 4. Detachment makes you unstoppable. One of the greatest strengths Buddhism teaches is detachment, the ability to live fully in this world without being chained to it. Detachment does not mean you stop caring, it means you stop clinging. And in that freedom, you become unstoppable. Think of a bird in the sky. It soars not because the air is free of storms, but because it carries no weight holding it down. In the same way, when you detach from fear, from the need for approval, from the hunger for control, you rise beyond limits. Attachment is what weakens us. When we cling to outcomes, we suffer when things change. When we cling to people, we fear losing them. When we cling to possessions, we live in constant anxiety of them being taken away. But the one who practices detachment is like a mountain. Storms may come, seasons may change, but their foundation remains unmoved. The Buddha himself left behind a life of luxury, power, and wealth, things most people chase for security. Yet by letting go, he discovered a strength greater than kings, the strength of liberation. Nothing could control him because he desired nothing. When you are detached, enemies cannot manipulate you, society cannot pressure you, and fear cannot enslave you. You become like a lion walking alone, commanding respect not by numbers, but by presence. You are untouchable because your happiness no longer depends on anything outside of you. Detachment gives you wings. It allows you to rise where others stumble. It makes you free, and in freedom, you become unstoppable. Lesson 5. The Sangha multiplies your light. In Buddhism, the Sangha, the community of truth seekers, is considered one of the three jewels, alongside the Buddha and the Dharma. Why? Because no flame, no matter how bright, is meant to burn alone. When you walk with the Sangha, your light multiplies far beyond what you could ever shine by yourself. The Buddha himself never intended his path to be walked in isolation. After his awakening, he shared his wisdom with others, and together they formed the first Sangha. Each monk, each nun, each lay follower carried a spark of that original flame, and together they became a living lantern that has continued to shine for over 2,500 years. Walking alone can make you strong, but walking with the Sangha makes you radiant. A single candle can light a dark room, but imagine thousands of candles burning together. The darkness has no chance. That is the power of spiritual community. And here's the beauty. The Sangha is not just those sitting beside you today. It is the timeless fellowship of all awakened beings, past and present. Even if you feel alone in your struggles, when you align yourself with truth and compassion, you walk with an unseen army of wisdom. You are held by the same strength that supported the Buddha, the same courage that guided great monks, and the same compassion that continues to inspire seekers today. When they said, "You are just one," they overlooked the invisible Sangha that walks with you. Every time you meditate, pray, or act with kindness, you are not standing alone. You are standing as part of a vast and unbreakable lineage. The Sangha multiplies your light, reminding you that you are never just one. You are the voice of many, the strength of many, and the light of many. Lesson 6. Challenges forge the legion. Within every trial you face, every hardship you endure, is not a punishment. It is training. In Buddhism, suffering is not the enemy. It is the teacher. It is through struggle that the hidden legion within you is revealed. Think of a sword. Before it shines, it must be placed into fire, hammered again and again, and cooled in water until its edge becomes unbreakable. The same is true for you. Life's challenges are the fire that forges your spirit into something greater than you ever imagined. The Buddha himself did not awaken without struggle. He endured years of wandering, fasting, doubt, and temptation before finding enlightenment beneath the Bodhi tree. His strength did not come from avoiding hardship, but from walking directly through it, emerging transformed. When you face challenges, you discover a truth most people never realize. You are stronger than you appear. Every obstacle overcome adds another layer of resilience. Every fall teaches you how to rise. Every loss opens a deeper well of wisdom inside you. They may see you as just one person, but they do not see the countless battles you have already survived. They do not see the scars that have turned into armor or the pain that has transformed into unshakable compassion. Within you stands not a single warrior, but an entire legion built from your trials. So, welcome the challenges. They are not here to break you, but to shape you. Each one sharpens your mind, deepens your heart, and expands your spirit until you rise, not as one, but as many. Lesson 7. Your light awakens others. There is a mystery hidden in the heart of Buddhism. Your awakening is never just your own. The moment your light begins to shine, it awakens light in others. One flame does not burn alone. It spreads, it multiplies, and it transforms the world. The Buddha was one man sitting beneath a tree in silence. No throne, no army, no power in worldly terms. Yet his inner awakening ignited a fire that has burned for over 2 millennia, touching billions of lives. This is the power of light. It does not diminish when shared. It only grows stronger. Think of a dark cave where thousands sit in shadows. If even one person lights a single candle, the darkness trembles. Others see the flame and are moved to light their own. Soon the cave is filled with radiance. This is how awakening spreads, not by force, not by domination, but by quiet example. When you live with wisdom, compassion, and courage, people around you begin to change without you even trying. Your peace becomes their inspiration. Your resilience becomes their encouragement. Your love becomes their reminder of what is possible. In this way, you are never just one person. You are a legion of lights awakening through countless hearts. And here lies the deepest truth. You may never know the full extent of your impact. A kind word spoken today may heal a wound you cannot see. A single act of compassion may ripple across generations. A moment of courage may plant seeds of hope in a soul who had almost given up. You may leave this world without realizing how many lives you've touched, but the universe knows. So when they said, "You are just one," they could not see the endless chain of awakening you carry within you. You are a spark that ignites sparks, a flame that lights countless candles, a star whose radiance guides others in the night. You rise not as one, but as a constellation, a living legion of light. This is your power, not only to rise, but to lift others with you. And in Buddhism, that is the truest victory. One of the most beautiful truths in Buddhism is this: your awakening is not just for you. When your heart opens, when your mind becomes clear, when your soul shines, that light naturally awakens others. Think about how the sun rises. The sun doesn't try to shine on each flower one by one. It simply rises, and its light touches everything. In the same way, when you grow in wisdom, compassion, and peace, you don't have to force others to change. Your presence alone becomes a silent teaching. The Buddha showed us this. He didn't preach with threats or armies. He simply lived in truth, and people were drawn to him. They saw his calm, his compassion, his fearlessness, and they felt something awaken inside themselves. From one man sitting under a tree, millions of people have been inspired across thousands of years. Even in small ways, this happens in daily life. Imagine someone at work who stays calm when everyone else is stressed. Their peace makes others breathe easier. Or think about a person who chooses kindness when others are cruel. Suddenly, others feel inspired to be kinder too. This is your light in action. You might think your choices are small, but they ripple outward in ways you cannot imagine. A smile, a kind word, a moment of patience. These tiny lights can guide people who are lost in darkness. One drop of compassion may give someone the strength to carry on. Buddhism teaches that goodness spreads naturally, just like fire. If you light one candle and then use that flame to light another, The first candle does not lose its flame. Instead, now there are two lights, and those two can light 10 more, and soon 1,000. Your light, once awakened, multiplies without limit. So when they said, "You are just one person," they forgot that your light is not just yours. Every act of courage, every moment of compassion, every step of peace you take awakens the same qualities in others. You rise not only as one, but as many because your spirit awakens legions of hearts around you. This is why your journey matters. By choosing to awaken, you are not only freeing yourself, you are giving others permission to rise. And that is how one becomes a legion. Lesson 8. Patience breaks every enemy. In Buddhism, patience, khanti, is considered one of the highest forms of strength. Many think that power is shown in how loudly you speak, how quickly you act, or how fiercely you fight back. But the truth is, real power is often quiet, steady, and unshakable. That power is patience. Patience does not mean weakness. It does not mean allowing others to walk over you. Patience means standing so deeply rooted in wisdom that nothing can disturb your peace. A tree does not panic when the storm comes. It bends, it endures, and when the storm passes, it still stands tall. Every enemy, whether it is anger, fear, hatred, or even people who oppose you, eventually breaks down before patience. Why? Because impatience feeds conflict, but patience starves it. When someone attacks you and you do not react with anger, the fire has no fuel to grow. Over time, their power fades, but your strength remains. The Buddha taught that patience is the highest ascetic practice. Why? Because it requires more courage to remain calm in chaos than to fight in anger, to wait, to endure, and to hold peace in your heart when others are losing theirs. This is true mastery. Even in daily life, patience is your hidden weapon. When challenges delay your progress, patience keeps you moving forward without giving up. When people misunderstand or criticize you, patience protects you from reacting in ways that harm your own peace. When life feels heavy, patience reminds you that everything changes and no storm lasts forever. So when they said, "You are just one," they forgot that patience gives you the endurance of 1,000. While others burn out in anger, you remain steady. While others are broken by time, you are strengthened by it. Patience is the quiet force that breaks every enemy, not by striking, but by outlasting. So remember this: when they said, "You are just one person," they only saw with their eyes, not with their hearts. They did not see the awakened mind that carries the strength of thousands, the compassion that ripples into generations, and the light that multiplies endlessly. You are not just one. You are the voice of wisdom, the courage of resilience, the peace of the Sangha, and the light that awakens others. Every step you take on the Buddhist path, you rise stronger, freer, and brighter, until you stand not as one, but as an entire legion. If these lessons touch your heart, let this be your reminder. Never underestimate the power of one awakened soul, because the moment you rise, you give permission for countless others to rise with you. Thank you for walking this journey with me. If this message resonated, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Buddhism and Wisdom, so together we continue spreading truth, compassion, and light. And always remember, you are one, and yet you are infinite.